I don't know.
Come up with a song on the fly.
You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman. I don't
know. You've got a friend in me. Don't make me sing the Sarah McLachlan, When Somebody Loved Me.
Oh.
Cry every time, without fail.
Oh, gosh.
Lose it. When she loved me. And fall apart.
Tears. Oh, this
it's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song. It does remind me of how, with a group of girls in maybe the 5th grade, we performed "You've Got a Friend in Me" in front of the entire school, the entire Lincoln School. My friend's dad was the orchestra, the junior high orchestra director, and he accompanied us on the cello, and we rehearsed and everything, and we had a big finish.
The talent show?
No, like it was at like the morning assembly. Like we did a monthly assembly, and we were like, can we perform?
Sure.
And how? Yeah. A friend in me. And had a big finish. It was great.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
On that note.
Any Hoozle Doozle, how are you? Welcome. Hi.
Yes. Hello. Did a super short but fun, like basically 24 hours. We left yesterday morning and got back this afternoon to Terre Haute.
Oh, no way.
To visit Brian's parents, and went to the train museum in Terre Haute.
Yes,
which I say museum. It's outside, and then you just go in these restored train cars, and then the train buildings, the platforms, like where they control all the train things so that trains don't crash into one another. Anyways, they're like really important.
Yeah, of course.
Sending messages. So learned about that.
Cool.
And then,
clearly.
Yeah. Well, I did learn things. That was a very, very short, brief, lame summary. But actually, it was really, really cool. And there was a restored train car from World War II.
Whoa.
I think it was, if I remember right, the first one that like went over 100 miles an hour, which, when you're transporting soldiers to different places and need to get them there quickly, that's a huge advantage. So got to see that. And then today we went to the Vigo County 4-H. There was kind of like Pumpkin Fest with all the rides and things. There was that area that wasn't open yet, but we got to see all the animals, all the 4-H animals, and bunnies and pigs and chickens and goats and sheep and cows.
Has Lily learned the word for bunnies at this stage in her development? Last I checked, which was about a year and a half ago, she was saying hop hop. All bunnies were hop hop.
Well, that's her stuffed animal.
That's her stuffed.
So we have Hop and we have Tiny Hop. And heaven help us if we lose either one of those. And when she calls it Tiny Hop, it is pretty darn tiny. It's a little stuffed bunny. But she does call them bunnies. That was her favorite. Her favorite part was the bunnies.
Yeah. I remember being at Ackerman's farm with you guys one time, and she was looking at the hop hops.
Yes, the hops.
Just hops, sorry.
Her stuffies.
Her stuffies are
Hop and Tiny Hop.
Got it.
But the bunnies we saw, they were bunnies.
Violet's is Floppity and Big Bunny,
well,
which
there you
are
go.
also a little bunny. One's the Beanie Baby bunny, and then the other one is just Big Bunny.
There you go. So many wonderful things. Yeah.
Good day to get out.
A quick weekend, but a fun one. So
good.
Yeah.
All right. We went to the East Peoria splash pad for the first time.
How was that?
New but not newer one that is still yet to be opened, but the one that's down by the library.
I wondered. Yeah.
But it was delightful. It was my first time being at a splash pad. I feel like that wasn't a thing back when I was a kid. I don't know. Maybe. Carmel, Indiana. I feel like they've got like splash pads galore these days.
Currently, yes, there are several. Yeah.
So I enjoyed my experience, but Violet was definitely a bit skeptical and like hesitant, but her cousins were there, which I thought was a good way to kind of show her around what to do, ease her in, run back to mom and dad, go back again, try it. So she was very cute. And then she also just loved exploring around that area. I don't know if you've ever been down there at the East Peoria Library and the pavilion setup that they've got going on, but gorgeous gardens
Is
and
this the
covered
Fond du
picnic.
Lac Library?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
like across
Yes.
from the Target and
Yes. We go
what
there for
was,
Star Wars Day.
oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you
Great
know
one.
that Red Robin closed?
I did.
I
I
remember that
saw.
being your big family outing.
We had gone there
I did
one
not know
time
that. I
as
know,
a
but
family, and it was like a big
yeah.
deal because
I
we
know.
don't go to restaurants.
Yeah. No, and not that that's ever like anywhere near the top of my list. I do drive by it and think like, "Oh, we
It
should
was
go get
good.
their French fries sometimes." I'm sure they have a veggie burger, but not
No more.
anymore. No more. So now
Wah,
we need to buy
wah,
it and make it
wah.
our official Millennial Moms headquarters, I think, is
Duh.
probably the right move, right? Right behind the
Could we get it a little
Chipotle. Come
closer?
on.
You
Eh,
know, although it's
I
right
need
in the
that
heart of all the
distance.
yeah, the meals
Think
and the
of all
shopping.
the Target runs, Jordan. Oh
Well,
my
that's what I'm
God.
afraid of.
Mhm.
Target's a dangerous place.
So it's,
It really
they
is.
know how to get you.
They do.
They they put their rubber duckies right at the front, and we are sold because they're super cute.
Every
And
single variation.
uh-huh. And it's my new rule with Violet is if you can hang on to this throughout the course of the store, then
You get to keep
it's
it.
yours to keep. But if you drop it and I don't catch it, then which
Done.
is what happened the last time. It's like I gave her a duck at the start.
Oh no.
And then at some point I looked down, I was like, well, you are not carrying that duck anymore. And I did not
Mm.
see where it went. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting this, but
Well, that would be a good rule. See what she can hold that you want to get,
yeah.
and then if she doesn't hold on to your thing, because I would be a lot more efficient with my wallet if I had that
Yeah.
rule.
That's my
Yikes.
game mentally. If I'm like
Yeah.
looking at a piece of clothes or something that I'm like, well, I like this, but I'm not sure about it, I'm not going to pick it up yet. But if by the time I finish my shopping, I'm still
Yes.
thinking about that thing, then I'll get it.
Okay.
And usually I forget. And it's like, well, I guess it wasn't that
Well,
important. Right.
delayed gratification. There you go.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on
So
that
on that,
little
yeah.
fun note, I guess I should welcome everyone to episode 45.
Wow.
45, holy cow, of Millennial Mom Thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm Helen
Say,
Plevka-Jones.
I was gonna say you would say that's Helen Plevka-Jones,
Oh,
and you
sorry.
say
That's Jordan Spickelmeyer. Wow,
I don't
that's
know.
a fun name.
I
I
thought
talked
I'd
about you the other
switch it up.
day, and the
Oh,
person was like, "That's such a fun name." I was like, "I know, it really
it's
is."
I've
Yes.
had a few people say
Yeah.
that to me. Well, I've also been accused, as you know, of having a
Yeah.
fake name.
Fake name.
So I've
Yeah.
had you have a fun name, you have a fake name. Nobody knows. It's a long one. I always have to spell it out. We have a
Mhm.
issue with our dryer, and someone's coming tomorrow, and they're like, "What's your last name?" And I was like, "Spickelmeyer." Like, could you spell that for me? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Could
Just
I?
depends
We'll
on how
find out.
quickly I'm going.
Mhm.
But on that, the only other brief life update to share that I suppose is related to all of these things that we talk about all the time, screens and childhood play and independence and all kinds of things. I thought I need to, if I'm going to talk about these things, I need to make sure I'm doing them and then share what I've done. And I've talked about some examples of giving Camden some independence and letting him try things just on his own. You know, we go to the park and he's allowed to be at the park, anywhere in the park, as long as he doesn't leave the park out of my sight. So
Mhm.
if he goes over to one part of the playground that I'm not on, that's fine.
Mhm.
And that was a big step.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, I didn't write this down, but this just happened. He did not follow my guidelines
Uh-oh.
on Thursday night.
Mhm.
And I turned around and a boy that he sort of knew from preschool, so it's been a couple years now,
Mhm.
since he was in his preschool class, they teamed up and were running around. Well, he lives directly across the street from the park.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
I turn around and I see him crossing the street with that boy and
Oh,
going into his house. I was
that's
like,
not the park, sir.
that's not the park. The mom saw me, saw it happen. You know, she was watching. And so
Yeah.
I go, is that your house? And she goes, yeah. I go, so he'll need to come out because we've
Yeah.
talked about you can't just leave the park without telling me. You know, if you have
Mhm.
if there's not been a reason yet.
Yeah.
Uh, so we have some more practice to do because we just up and left the park and didn't say anything because we were having fun with our friend. And on the one hand, I'm glad that he was making a friend and
Yeah.
doing a
Right.
thing that was fun. On the other
But
hand, you didn't tell me,
yeah.
first of all, that you were leaving the park. 'Cause, I would not know to check houses
Right.
for
Especially as
you.
this isn't a house that you regularly go to. Like even
No,
then I would, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even know the mom's first name.
Right. Right.
So, like we're not on that comfort level.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't just run over there because I'm also watching Lily play on the
Mm-hmm.
playground. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
right, picking my who am I following?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
there was that.
that's
So before
yeah.
that happened,
Before you had to reel
the
him
thing
back
I
in a little
wrote
bit.
down,
Yeah.
the thing I wrote down that I was going to share before, maybe I gave him too much independence and he's like, "Hey, now I can do what I want."
That's how you learn too, though.
But
I don't
that's I
know.
am also learning alongside
Yeah.
him. He had asked to go over and see if his friend was available to play. And this was on, I think it was on Wednesday. I can't remember the exact day now. But the friend lives a street over, just one street over. So there's, two rows of houses in between our house and this friend's
Mm-hmm.
house. And I said, "Okay, you can walk over there. That's fine."
Mm-hmm.
And he went out the door and I said, "You remember, you just need to look, we don't say both ways anymore. We say all ways. So you look
Oh,
forward, back, side to side because
really?
just looking side to side, sometimes you're going to miss it. Like if there's a car pulling out of the driveway." So we just
Okay.
say, instead of look side to side, we say look
Is
all the
is
ways.
that something you
Just
now say,
us.
or like they, these people that make
Oh, I have no
the
idea. But
rules?
that's just
Okay. Well,
something
I
I
like
say.
that. Look
We say
all.
we look all the ways. So he
Yeah.
does like a full, head turn and looks all the way around. And I saw
Good.
him do it. So I
Yeah.
could see him up, from Lily's room. I could see him walking down the sidewalk, and then
Mm.
we hit a point where I can't see him anymore.
Um.
And I will say, my anxiety went up. And I
Hmm.
thought, we walk this all the time.
Yeah.
We know it. He knows it. I know that he is just, and I said, "You're not going over there to play. You're asking
Hmm.
him to come over to play." But now seeing that he just goes into people's houses,
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident if he was not home, but
Yeah.
had he been home, he might have just gone over to play. So we're still gonna have to continue talking about
Mm.
that. But he did it. He walked over. He knocked on the door. I guess his dad happened to be outside, and then he just wasn't home. So he walked back, and I saw him
Wow.
round the corner, from
Oh.
upstairs. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there waiting, like, where is he? Where is he? This is fine. This is fine.
Uh-huh.
He came back, and it was fine.
That's
And
a
so
big
it was
moment,
good
Jordan.
practice for
Yeah.
me,
That wasn't just
getting,
practice. That's the thing. That's you're doing it,
yeah, it
man.
was the thing.
Yeah.
But I thought he is going to be a first grader. And as a first grader, I did walk around my
Hmm.
neighborhood.
For sure. Yeah.
And I did it without, we're not doing tracking devices.
Mhm.
I have decided that's just not something. I want him to have actual childhood freedom that is safe,
Mhm.
which is why we practice and talk about these things and
Mhm.
rehearse and have some trial and error. And apparently, sometimes we have errors where we go into other people's houses that we didn't talk about. But I, I, I need to do it for me, and I
Mhm.
need to do it for him.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was our experience, and we'll keep going. And once he gets better, he's riding his bike, but it still has training wheels.
Hmm.
Once we get better with the bike riding, like then it'll be okay. You can ride your bike through the
Yeah.
neighborhood,
Yeah.
that kind
No.
of thing.
And I think that that's awesome. And I'm so proud of and
It was
happy for
big.
you. That is, no, genuinely,
It
that
was
is,
really big.
I currently cannot fathom that. Obviously, I have a 17-month-old, which
I
also I
know.
cannot fathom.
I
But I think
know.
that, that is
She
the cool
gets
thing
old.
about our neighborhood because it's kind of like secluded and small. And
Yeah.
although there aren't any sidewalks, like it's, everyone is aware of the fact that there are kids out playing all the time and running across to
Yeah.
each other's houses and meeting up and joining, you can just see it. So it's like so cool to me that Violet will get to be part of that. And
Love
I
it.
think kind of alongside your experience, like the importance of having that community of like knowing the other parents of
Right.
I think a key difference between those two experiences, I'm imagining, is the fact that you know the house of where he
Yes.
was
And
going to
have
find his
mom's phone
friend
number.
versus yeah, and I have
Yeah.
mom's phone number in case something happens or in case you need to get a hold of him or whatever, just that peace of mind
Yes.
versus the like, okay, I know this person, but I don't know their house and all that. It's like just
Right.
having your community support, your neighborhood, your network, all the things. I think is very different than dropping your kid off in the middle of a city and being like, okay, go fend for
Yeah.
yourself. See it.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. It's
Right.
just, yeah, no, that's very cool.
That
I'm
was a
proud
whole
of
thing.
Camden too. That is
I
very
am too.
exciting.
Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what? And he liked it.
Yeah.
He liked it too.
Yeah,
Even
was
just
he
that
afraid
brief.
at all? Was he, because I remember the first time I was ever home alone for the first time, and my parents were just
Oh,
at my older brother's parent teacher conference or
yeah.
something where like Reed was there with
Wasn't a
them
super long
and
time.
yeah, no, and
Yeah.
like our house is 1 block away from the elementary
Right.
school. So like
Right.
it was just I could watch them basically
Yeah.
walk to the school. And I remember that's all I did was just like stare out the window the whole time they were gone and just kind of had that like little smile of like, I'm home alone.
I'm by
I'm home alone.
myself.
I'm very nervous, but this is very cool.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
dueling excitement and fear, but yeah, it was a big deal. But you didn't sense any of that from Camden. I feel like that doesn't surprise me because he's a very go with the flow kind of kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's adventure. I mean,
Yeah.
he has his things that gets nervous
Mm-hmm.
about. We had actually tried it once before.
Mm.
And then he got he got a little confused
Yeah.
of like, wait, which street do I turn on?
Oh,
And so
yeah.
we
Yeah.
came back. He didn't get all the way there, and he's like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember which street and which house. And so we had walked it a few
Yeah.
more times, and
Yeah.
they also have, and thankfully it was in the driveway. They have a very distinctive vehicle in their
Okay.
driveway. This
Yeah.
friend, and so if I suppose if that's not in the driveway, maybe
Yeah.
he would question which house it is. But
Sure.
I think at this point he knows. But we walk by it
Mm-hmm.
enough that we've practiced, and so he knows how to get there and back on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the very first time he tried, and then wasn't sure which street to actually
Okay.
go down,
Yeah.
and so he came back, and then we had a few more runs where he was on his bike and I was walking
Mm-hmm.
Lily, and we just a couple evenings walked by, and then a couple days later it was like, I want to go ask my friend to come
Okay.
play. I said, okay, you can
This
go
is
knock on their door and ask.
it.
It's like, I'm not
Wow.
going to text his mom ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because that kid's come over to our house,
Mm-hmm.
without mom texting ahead of time and has knocked on the door, like, can Camden play? And
Mm-hmm.
so it feels like a nice little, like we've established,
Yeah.
I'm fine with him coming
Yeah.
over to our house and playing, and, you
Mm-hmm.
going over and asking him to play. And so, yeah,
Yeah. I guess
it seemed
that's
like a
the
good
flip
thing.
side is just when the fact that sometimes kids are just annoying. In one of my sister-in-law's neighborhood, they've got some kids that like to come ring the doorbell frequently,
Mm,
and maybe
yeah.
if no one answers, they're looking in the window and they're coming around the fence. It's like, get out of here, you guys.
The other
But
thing I think about is I want to be the house that his
mhm.
friends want to come over and
Yeah,
play at. So
yeah, for sure.
when this
You're the
other kid
cool
comes,
mom.
well, and not even that. I
No, I
mean,
know.
obviously, but no,
Duh. Yeah, that goes without
like
saying.
I will like I have popsicles
Yeah.
because at least in the summer I know that's an easy like, hey, you're over here and you're playing. Do you guys want to do popsicles in the backyard?
You're the literal cool mom.
There you go. I see what you did there. I'm ice cool.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, I just lost my cool status by saying that.
The question mark really
edit,
gave
edit.
never.
Delete that one. No, that's making it, I'm sure. But I want to have things to play with
Yeah.
in the backyard. And I am mostly, at least right now, while the weather allows it to happen, staying outside rather than, hey, come inside in the house and
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
because that just adds a whole nother level
For sure.
of chaos.
Mhm.
So, and
Well,
Lily is very much enjoying when Camden's friend comes over as
I
well. She's
bet.
very excited. So,
Well, total side note to all of this, but related. is that we need to do like a water play day. Like Violet and I need to come over and
I have multiple
I
water
know.
tables.
Yeah.
So yes, please.
Okay.
Bring her over.
Before the summer's
That
over.
would be
Yeah,
wonderful.
let's make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, over in our world, only
Yeah.
update over here is that she has returned to daycare a couple days a week for the next several weeks before I start my gig full time in August, but with Mitch at band camp and me teaching a few days. Yeah. So
we need cheering, like a clapping background. We need to add sound effects when something exciting like Helen has a new job. Yay! Oh, that's even better. Disco club sounds.
Sound effects provided by Helen Plevka-Jones. I'm Helen Plevka-Jones. I edit the audio. And did I mention I do? Anyway, she is a chickadee. She's a chickadee, which I think is so cute. They moved her up to the next room. And so far, so good. I mean, that's
trying to pull it back together. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Keep going.
Okay. You good?
I'm good, but you have there it is. You can't do that to me. I will laugh so hard every time.
She's a chickadee. That's all. It's great. I don't know.
It's very cute.
It has more of a kind of structured routine to the day, which I think is good for her. And they have water play on Mondays, so
love it.
Bought her first pair of water shoes, and that's what we're kind of testing out at the splash pad today. But no, it's good. The drop off has been difficult, but they said that she's done surprisingly well. Like not just surprisingly well, she's had like great days both times she was there this last week for being away for a while and all that, being in a new room. But it's just the saying goodbye to mom part that she's struggling with, and obviously it's not the favorite part of my day, but I know you and yes, I know. I saw those tears at the library the other day.
Oh no. Yeah, library story time was very cute. She's back. Stop it. Trying to talk about a sweet moment where we were at the library together.
We were, yes. Yeah, and your kids wanted to show my kid their books.
Lily ate your kid's lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, specifically the peanut butter and crackers that you had.
Which those were open to share. Those the like small stacks of Ritz crackers are great, but they're definitely like enough for 3. Like it's a decent amount in there. So if you don't finish them all yourself, then you better make sure you eat them the next day or so, because then they'll be stale. So when there's a friend to share them with, perfect.
Lily was thrilled.
Unless I know.
So excited.
If the cracker, the crumbs and peanut butter smears on her face were any indication, I think she thoroughly enjoyed.
Yes. On behalf of Lily, thank you. Although I do think she said thank you. She's very good.
She did. She totally did. Polite. And she threw away the garbage for us.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
way to go, Lily.
Very sweet. Good
way
job.
to go, Violet.
Yes.
Way to go, everyone.
Good job, flower girls and everyone.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, other than that, I would say that I before we get into today's topic, I wanted to hype up the fact that you published your first Substack essay on this topic and have since written another one, which a
very short, brief. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but
I don't know either. I'm just because I got back on there last week as well, and I have kind of my next several months mapped out of things I want to be writing about, which is giving me a good structure and flow that I hope to be able to continue as we go from summer back into the school year. We'll see. But all that to say, find us on there. We'll put links in our show notes. And also, while you're at it, subscribe to the podcast and write that 5-star review, because these things truly, truly help just with visibility and credibility, and for what all that's worth. That'd be awesome. So
we think we're pretty credible. For some things.
I think we're incredible.
Incredible.
Here I was thinking I was really sleepy tonight, but maybe I've moved past mental exhaustion to like total loopy doopiness. But we're talking about Toy Story tonight.
Toy Story 5.
Yes, Toy Story 5. And because, I haven't seen it.
Right.
So I
I
thought I would kind
have.
of take on the role of like interviewer, question asker, because I have
That's
lots
so
of questions
sweet.
for you. But do you want
Yeah.
to open things up or you want me to get into my questions?
Yeah, just super briefly. I saw it. I saw it in theaters with
Hmm.
Camden and Lily and Brian, and then some friends. And I had debated on whether or not I would see it or not because I knew the movie would be great, like
Hmm.
just as a movie because it's Toy Story. Even though they've continued to milk this franchise for as much as
Hmm.
they can, because really after Toy Story 3, it's like, why did we keep going? But
Hmm.
because there's money to be made. But it's cute.
Hmm.
I knew they would have funny jokes for the adults, and it would be, this overall a good movie. The issue that I had that I was debating on was, obviously they're tackling the whole tablet and childhood
Hmm.
thing. They're taking it on. And I knew before seeing any previews or obviously going to the film, I knew that the ending would not be get rid of those tablets from
Hmm.
childhood because you can quite literally buy the LilyPad tablet, or
Hmm.
you can buy the iPad cover. Leapfrog makes the tablet, and then Belkin makes the iPad cover.
Hmm.
So Disney's not stupid, and they also have partnerships with Apple and social media company. Like
Hmm.
they're not going to say, yeah, you know what, stick with just the toys and get rid of that tech in childhood. They can live in harmony. And yeah,
Hmm.
of course. So that's where I thought, well, then what are you really going to send?
Hmm.
And then ultimately I did decide to see it for the experience of going to the movies with my kids. Lily
Hmm.
had never, she's only 2.5. She'd never been to the movie theater.
Hmm.
And Camden had only been one time before. So it was kind of their, I think Camden remembers his first one, but it was
What
kind of
was
like
his
their
first movie? Do you remember?
Minions 2.
Oh,
We saw
delightful.
Minions 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So he saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Hmm.
And I did leave frustrated. So
Hmm.
I'll let you kind of
Well, sure.
maybe
And I think
drive the drive
you
the
already
conversation before
answered.
jumping to the end.
No, yeah, you're good. Because I think one of my questions was I remembered you had told me like well, maybe not so adamantly saying like we're not going to see that, but I remember that
Right.
tension of you being like I don't want to show that to my kid, because you know
Yeah.
how it's going to end, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, like you already said, it's cute. It's Toy Story. It's going to
It
have its
is.
fun and cute and
Totally
happy and
sweet.
heart
There were
wrenching
moments I
moments. I'm sure.
cried.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. So my question was like, what changed? But I think it was that movie going experience. You went with friends,
Yes.
right? It was Lily's first.
Yes.
But any other thoughts on just the family friend movie going experience? Like, did you feel, was it different to see that movie in theaters than you think you would have felt at home had you like
Yeah.
waited for it to be streaming or something like that?
Yeah. Well, and we've talked a lot about our kind of quest to remove or to add some friction back
Hmm.
into getting a hold of media, like
Hmm.
going to the library and checking things out. There's not Blockbuster anymore.
Hmm.
Everything's streaming, but there are still ways that we can find, or there's still ways that we can do the kind of old school
Hmm.
things.
Hmm.
And going to a movie theater is a way to experience a movie in a different way now because
Hmm.
everything is streaming in at home. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's way more convenient to do it in the house when you can pause when it's like, I need to use the bathroom,
Hmm.
or I want snacks that are in my own house and I want my blanket. And, I was
And my
amazed that, oh, yeah.
no, and Hop Junior,
Oh, yeah.
Mini Hop,
Hop and Tiny Hop.
Tiny
Yeah.
Hop. Dang it.
Yeah, we were not bringing those to the movie theater.
Yeah, no, no.
So there are conveniences to
Yeah,
watching movies at
of
home,
course.
but to
Yeah.
see a movie on the big
Hmm.
screen in a room full of other people
Hmm.
it's just different. And
Hmm.
that was something I grew up with and going
Hmm.
to the movies. And so I thought, even though I know that I will feel frustrated, it's still an experience and it's still a
Hmm.
movie that I know isn't going to like have terrible language and
Right.
violence.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a safe movie to go see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
that totally makes
I did
sense.
decide to go ahead and I
Mhm.
wanted to see what they
Yeah.
would do with the
Yeah.
movie. I was
Yeah.
curious. So
hmm And yeah, I think the fact that for me too, like thinking about my own childhood memories, going to movies like as an event, like that does create a
yeah,
memory for them, whether it's
yeah.
the time my brother got his foot stuck in the chair at the, I think it was in the beginning of Lion King. It's in like the very heightened tension, like,
Yeah.
and he's wailing because he got his foot stuck. Or the time that I was wailing and had to be removed from the theater during the Barney movie because I was so scared. I don't know if you remember the Barney
I
movie, but
I think I'm a little too
okay,
old for
fair.
Barney,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. No,
I
that's
never watched.
that's fair. They get stuck in the woods. The kids get lost in the woods when they're searching for this
Oh,
magical egg, and I was terrified. So my mom had to take me out in the hall to calm me down.
oh,
But this is like a vivid memory I have. So just to that point of
yeah.
like, it is
Yeah,
different when we go places and do things with people versus sitting in the same place we always do to watch these things through the
right,
same screen, right? So just creating that
right.
experience, creating those memories I think also does things cognitively differently
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And now I've lost my second point. What was my second point going to be? What was the last thing you said? You said something that sparked something,
Just the
but I don't know what it
experience of
was. The
going.
experience
Yeah,
of going. Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's okay.
it's okay. It's
You'll
okay.
listen back to this and be like,
I
"Oh yeah,
will.
that's what I was going to ask." That's
I'll
okay.
add a voice note. No, I won't.
No.
But after you saw the movie and I saw you at some point, closely thereafter, I asked you to rank it on a scale of zero
Yeah.
to 10 of like how it met or exceeded your expectations. 10 being like, wow, they totally like did so much better than I thought they would. Like I actually loved the ending and blah blah blah. Zero being like it was worse than I totally could have ever imagined. You gave it a 4 and I know that you go more in depth on this in your essay, but if you want to explain a bit on your reasoning, why you gave it a 4. And I think the ending is fairly like I know how the movie ends, so I don't think you need to worry
Right.
about spoiling it
It's not a huge
necessarily
spoiler.
unless you're
Yeah.
like a child listening. Then
I
tell
guess.
your parent to like fast forward and
Yeah.
probably you don't need to be listening to us in the car anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I this is not this is not breaking news, any of the
Mhm.
things that I'm going to share. I I had a hard time even deciding how to rank it, that 0 to 10. I said 4 but I do approach it from a lens of I think about, read about, talk about,
Yeah.
obviously all of these things all of the
Mhm.
time. I'm maybe not your average. I don't know. I mean, what I was glad that it did
Mhm.
was address, the elephant in the room of tech has infiltrated childhood and changed childhood. And it's not necessarily that it's toys versus tablets, because a tablet is a very different thing than a toy.
Mhm.
The piece that I ended up leaving mad about was the tablet sacrifices itself for Bonnie's happiness.
Mhm.
And ultimately they're reunited. So there's no,
Mhm.
there's your spoiler. But a tablet does not sacrifice itself when it sees a child suffering from, she had these group chats that were going on, and she's like a tween. I don't think she's
Mhm.
even in middle school. Maybe a fifth grader, maybe a sixth grader. It's kind of hard to know her age. But all of these problems are now taking over in her life and impacting her emotionally and messing with her sleep and her eating and her play. And so the tablet just sees that it's causing these problems in her life and decides to fling itself into the donation bin and, goes on this truck.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, well, big tech's not doing that.
Yeah.
A device is not going to say, oh my gosh, I can see through, the hours that this child is spending on the device. This is too much, and I'm going to shut myself down. No, it's doing exactly what it's intended to do, which is keep your attention, regardless of your age, for as long as possible. And so that part made me mad. It also made Camden mad, I will add. He
Yeah.
was very upset that the tablet returned when
Hmm.
it when it was on the, on the truck going away forever and it
Mhm.
came back, we talked about that in the car, and he even got kind of a little choked up in the
Mhm.
theater. Like he was
Mhm.
really upset that after seeing what the tablet had done to Bonnie and how upset she was, he was mad and then sad that it came back into
Mhm.
her life. And there was a moment where I thought, "Oh God, what did I do bringing him to
Well,
this movie? Like
this
he's upset."
Yeah, that 100% reminded me of my earlier point too, of the fact that like just like reading a book isn't going to immediately transform you or change your mind on it, right? It's
Right.
like that these things are contextualized, and when you're viewing this with family, like you have
Yes.
already shaped their relationship to
Oh yeah.
technology. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like they're just blank slates watching this movie, and whatever outcome
No.
Toy Story 5 reaches is going to be what they now think about tablets for forever. Like,
Right.
certainly media has influence, and the
Yes.
way these stories play out are going to help them think through things. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
but at the end
And
of the
he sees
movie,
it. He
they're
sees it
getting back in the
everywhere.
car with you. They're having these conversations, which is amazing,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
they have you for that. So yeah, that was going to be my point earlier too. And so I'm glad that kind of came back up here. Um, yeah, yeah, and just the fact too, it's curious to me how I've seen a couple different ways the movie is being marketed or just described of, like, I know, was it the Belkin ad has
A
lily
new
pad as
hero
a new
arrives.
hero,
Hero.
whereas other
Hero.
materials I've
Uh-huh.
seen it as
Uh-huh.
the villain, right? Like it is like, oh,
Uh-huh.
the tablet is the villain of the movie. And I think that's just so indicative of tablet culture, for better or
Yeah.
worse, like
Yeah.
the role of tablets in our lives. Like, how
Yes.
is it the hero, is it the villain, what the heck is this thing, and what is it
Yeah.
doing to our kids? And
And I think it
yeah,
depends.
yeah.
Now, there are, this folds back into the school discussion, and I don't want to get too far off task, topic, which I
You're
probably
good.
very well could. There are uses, like I've said
Mhm.
before, there are uses for technology, and I think it's important to define like what technology is. There are
Mhm.
some technologies, when we're talking about social media, that has no place in childhood. That technology,
Mhm.
a device. For our family, I personally we don't use them. I just do TV. But I know there are plenty of families, and understandably so, like taking
Mhm.
long trips, they might load a long movie. I used to do that for Camden. I never did it for Lily, but I used to do that for Camden. And then I just realized it's not something we need.
Mhm.
There are other things that I can bring in the car. And as someone who just got off a 3-hour long car ride with
Mhm.
two young kids, um, there are moments where it's very tempting to be like, yeah, I wish I had an iPad to watch a
Mhm.
movie. But we don't. I bring lots of options, and then
Mhm.
sometimes there's blow ups and it's miserable and there's crying, and it just is what it is.
From
Um,
you, Brian.
exactly. Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally Brian.
Two unrelated to fully tell here, but at the end, remind me to tell you about my tape
Okay.
anecdote.
Tape antidote. Got it. Um,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm on it. No, 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 it's back.
Much
Um,
like the way tablets distract our children.
exactly.
Sorry.
Overall,
Go on.
I read, reading through our notes
Yeah.
when you kind of pose. I'm going to ask the question on your behalf because I'm already
Okay.
thinking about it. But imagine being a family that is not
Yeah. Yeah. Someone who's
like
not deep in the
not like
weeds
me,
like you, who doesn't talk and read and think about this all the time. Like, would
right?
this
But might
movie
have
have,
concerns,
but might have concerns,
Yeah,
have probably noticed this in their child's life, or maybe it's not even their
yes,
kid, but it's their niece, it's their students, it's whatever. But they don't have the resources. They haven't had these conversations. Do you think
yeah.
this movie has the potential to start that conversation or to open that up for people?
I think it does. The
Okay.
the the fact that it was being addressed at all,
Mm-hmm.
I think is powerful
Mm-hmm.
because we all see it. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really easy to say like this is a kid problem.
Yeah.
There's another thing I noticed in the movie,
Yeah.
which I was
Okay.
glad that they did, was that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was every scene. I intended to take notes, and then I was like, no, you're just gonna go watch it. So if I
Yeah.
watch it again, I'll take notes.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but I believe in every scene, the every time the parent is there, they have their phone in their
Mm-hmm.
hand. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that was intentional,
Yeah.
but I think it
Yeah.
was every scene.
Mm.
So this is not just a kid problem. This is a societal issue. This is
Mm-hmm.
a rewiring of everyone,
Mm-hmm.
like this is not just kids.
Yeah. The
But
rewired kids are becoming adults who are becoming,
exactly.
like this is, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how we're modeling our tech use in front of our children is sending them, I think, way more messaging than just the device. It's,
Yeah.
giving them the device itself.
Yeah.
I don't love that kids are getting these devices anyways, but what parents are doing, when your kid is asking for your attention or asking a question and you're answering them but not looking at them because you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at your phone, you're sending a message.
Mm-hmm.
Not the message on your phone. You're sending a message to your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that piece is important too. There were other things in the movie that I got frustrated with. Bonnie is sobbing in the car over, finally breaking down over this issue happening on lily pad with her friends, and her mom, her parents are like these clueless, they seem like clueless idiots, and they just, anyways, there's other things. And so she's in the car, and I don't know if this was just a continuity. I'm not sure how this happened, but she had the tablet. She was hugging it in the back seat. She's crying, crying, and then they're like, "Let's go, I think, get ice cream." And I
Mm.
thought that the tablet was going to stay in the car, but then that would prevent the next scene. But then the tablet's on the table. And it's
Oh,
like, so your kid just told you that this whole horrible thing is happening,
yeah.
and then she leaves it. She gets out of the car and leaves it in the back seat. So you go grab it and bring it on the table.
Mm.
The
Interesting.
there was, but again, it would mess up like how the
Yeah.
tablet
Sure.
gets out of there. So
Sure.
and sees her so upset and
Maybe
decides to
they had
sacrifice
to cut a
itself.
whole scene about like, well, don't leave that in the
Maybe.
back seat. We don't want some, I don't
Right. Well,
know.
and the other thing
Put
is
it
like,
under the
okay, if the
towel.
tablet like
Yeah.
climbs around itself, then okay, just have the tablet climb over the
Yeah.
back seat, like
Yeah.
through the window. Like if it's apparently walking on its own anyways, then you could have gotten it out of there. But
Uh,
whatever.
yeah.
No big deal. But the thing that I think I was frustrated on behalf of families that are going to see this that don't think about
Hmm.
these things constantly is when it at the end, she's playing with a friend and they're using the tablet and playing with toys, and it's, toys and tablets in harmony. It's in the bedroom. And I think one of the kind of, I won't say universal, but a widely accepted or becoming a
Hmm.
lot more widely accepted tech rule for families is no devices in the bedroom, especially for children. And I thought that that would have been such a low lift point to make, if Disney's really gonna keep the tablet in childhood, like I knew they would, then could you at least present it in a way that's like, well, the charging station that was
Yeah.
by her bed 24/7 is now in the kitchen.
Yeah. Have a tech
And they went to
table.
go play in her bedroom or outside, and the tablet stayed behind.
Hmm.
So, that seemed like
Yeah.
something, but maybe that wasn't the mission of the director, the writer, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if a family is seeing that and seeing the ending of, oh, they can live in harmony, okay,
Mm.
well, it's still in the bedroom,
Yeah.
and that's a problem because
Yeah.
that is where a majority of the issues happen, and it impacts sleep.
Hmm.
And if you aren't sleeping and getting enough sleep, that is so detrimental to your health, your mental health, your physical health, all of the things. That's at least one piece that they could have said, here's something you can do to,
Hmm.
improve your relationship with tech.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I was mad about that.
Yeah. No, it was just very interesting to me. So I was like, I'm sure, having not seen it, I don't know, are there positive takeaways from it or not? But I was thinking about it in relation to
Yeah.
like what Inside Out was in opening
Yeah.
conversations about mental health. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm sure many people smarter than me can look at that movie and point out all of its faults of like how it's not
Right.
representing all the nuances of human psychology. But I think it did. And I know it gave people a vocabulary to be able to be like, oh, there are different emotions inside of me. And
Yeah.
sometimes others take over, and that kind of thing of
Yeah.
just depicting this in a child friendly way,
Yeah.
in a way that I think adults need to see and hear and
Yeah.
have that acceptance of like, it's okay to talk about these things was, yeah, curious if that movie or that Toy Story 5 specifically could be
Yeah, but
doing that too.
ultimately,
At the end of the
Disney's a
day, though,
business.
Disney's a business, and yes, yeah,
And there's
yeah.
merchandise to be made and money to
Mm-hmm.
be made from
Mm-hmm.
buying, all of the all of the characters and,
Yes.
you know, Disney plus the streaming service, which
Mm-hmm.
full disclosure, I do purchase. My increased monthly fee, it feels like it goes up every month.
Yeah, I just heard
But
a episode of something on NPR where they were doing like an in-depth dive on our media habits in the 20 like modern media habits and ownership and agency over what we watch and if we
yeah.
actually own it and stuff like that, which I need to go back and listen further to because it was just playing in the car and like every other sentence I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is what we
Agree,
talk about.
agree.
Agree, agree,
Yeah.
intrigue. But sorry, you were saying something else.
Well, just going back to that, Disney being a business,
Hmm.
and how I kind of wanted to fold that into, which I've brought up before, the issue of, these trusted or these
Hmm.
messenger organizations, these trusted whatever people,
Hmm.
leaders, groups, organizations that share technology related advice or suggestions for children and families,
Yeah.
and how
Such
if
as, could you give
well,
us some examples?
yes. So, and I've brought this one up before, Common
Yeah.
Sense Media.
Yeah.
It's really hard because there are some things on Common Sense Media that are good.
Hmm.
However, when you look at and this is over the past decade, so I don't have the specific years, but within the past 10 years, the following organizations have either partnered, sponsored, or funded Common Sense Media, and very well still do. OpenAI, TikTok, Meta, Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, so Meta, Gates
Hmm.
Foundation, AT&T, YouTube, Apple, Google. So it's really hard when a trusted messenger organization that's giving technology information to
Hmm.
families is funded by technology. And,
Hmm.
maybe people would say, well, but that happens all the time. And it does. But I would also ask you, would you take health advice from Marlboro or Philip Morris or Coca-Cola? Would you trust your kid's school
Hmm.
lunch to McDonald's? Like their research and funding, what's a healthy school option or not? Would you farm that out to McDonald's and Coke? Probably
Hmm.
not. There's a conflict of interest there. So when you have organizations like that, I mean, even American Academy of Pediatrics has, technology ties. Google, Gates Foundation,
Hmm.
AT&T. Does that mean all messages coming from them are bad or not, correct or helpful? No, but it does put that level of doubt of where
Hmm.
did it's looking. I'm starting to do this so much more. Where does the money go? Where does the
Hmm.
money come from? Who is
Hmm.
funding this and for what purpose?
Hmm.
If, Boston Children's Digital Wellness Lab, which I see them referenced quite a bit, they're funded or have taken funding from Roblox and Snapchat and TikTok and Character AI and
Hmm.
Discord. That's a huge red flag.
Hmm.
If they're getting money from them, there's probably going to be some messaging that is in their favor. Because if they're saying Snapchat is the worst, don't use it, Snapchat's probably not going to give them any more money?
Hmm.
So you're not going to fund things that are critical of you. And these companies get, funding from them. So, or
Hmm.
have, in the past. So it just,
Yeah.
I think it just needs to make you skeptical
Hmm.
and, you know, look into who is funding what.
Hmm.
It may make you sound, maybe I sound like a crazy person. However, it's not surprising to me that these big tech organizations are getting into organizations that put out advice and guidance about technology.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it's not crazy. It's critical,
yeah.
in the best way.
Yeah.
like you already said, asking those questions. And I am someone who probably falls into that bucket of like, well, this happens all the time. Like that's my dose of
Right.
skepticism of just
And it
the more
does.
I understand about where the money comes from and
But
where
that's
these
what happened to the
organizations don't
tobacco
have the funding.
industry.
Right, right.
And they
Yeah.
said smoking
Yeah.
was safe. They said
Yeah.
we did all this
Right.
research and all
Yeah.
these tests and it's healthy. We made
Hmm.
a healthier cigarette.
Hmm.
Look at all our research. Well, when you are the researcher of your product, you're probably going to have research that's in favor of your product that it doesn't
Hmm.
cause harm. So that's,
Yeah. No.
it's just another thing to think about.
Yes, yes. But when it comes to like the purpose of this research or the purpose of these
Mm-hmm.
messaging, and whatnot, I think about it more on the people level too, of understanding the people and like what their personal purpose is working within these systems through this funding and just all
Yeah.
the systems levels things that impact how the message ultimately is conveyed and then
Yeah.
ultimately received. I don't know. It's all just kind of swarming around
It is. It
up
is.
here.
When
But
I've
I think,
started
yeah,
to
the more
pay
we can go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just paying attention. I've started to
Hmm.
pay attention to that, and you'll notice, especially in some of the, as I never thought I'd be watching like congressional hearings and Senate
Hmm.
committee here, like all of these things that,
Hmm.
like as a kid, like that's boring. Now I'm like, I need to know. I need to be an informed
Yeah.
citizen. There are people that will say up front, I do not and have not taken funding from any
Hmm.
big tech organization. And it's pretty interesting the ones that don't say that because they can't. And
Hmm.
so I think that's another way to, start to
Yeah.
sniff out who's, maybe got the public's best interests in mind versus who's trying to keep their partnerships from these big tech companies.
Hmm.
'Cause they
Hmm.
provide lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, it's all quite
just
intriguing. And
something
I'd
to
say,
think about.
well, it's something to think about. And I think often folks are like, okay, so what, you just want me to be mad at everything all the time and
Right.
angry? But I think
No,
through
it's
your
not that.
experience, you are such a beautiful demonstration of how like the joy not the joy you find in this work, but like the connections, the community, I think that you're
Yeah,
finding through this advocacy work.
totally.
It's like just finding people who also care about the same things as you, but then people who are doing the work and doing it
Yeah.
well and doing it the right way, doing it the way that you also, so
You
there's
just
joy to
reminded
be
me.
found. Yeah.
And it can, this is how I can wrap this up because that just
Hmm.
tied in what you just said back to writing my first Substack thing.
Ooh, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how the Substack algorithm works. I haven't figured that
It's
out yet.
bonkers. Yeah.
It's really wild. But someone who I don't know
Hmm.
who lives in Washington
Heck yeah. Oh,
found my
Illinois.
sub.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
sorry,
like the
Washington,
the
Illinois,
town
like
that's
a
right next to
neighbor.
where we are.
Yes, I
Yes.
should clarify. The
Yeah.
town, our
Not state, not
neighboring town.
DC.
Yeah, maybe somebody in DC
The
read it, but
Washington.
the Washington, no, Washington, Illinois,
Yeah.
found or was
Amazing. Yeah.
recommended my post,
Yeah.
commented on it, and we're going to meet next week.
Woohoo! Oh, do
Yeah,
they want to be a
she's
guest on our podcast?
maybe so, based on whatever. Maybe it'll be a live
Cool.
podcast from my living room.
Whoa.
But yeah, she's like, this
That's
is all
great.
I talk about all the time. I go,
Yeah.
me too. I haven't met
Oh my
anybody,
God.
that is
Yeah.
kind of so. And she's got a leadership. I don't want to certainly say too
Yeah.
much, but
Yeah.
she's got a
Just someone
leadership
who's,
role in
yeah.
some things, and I
Cool.
want to
Cool.
ask her some questions
Right on. Yes,
about
that's
what she's
awesome.
doing. It's like,
The
can we
internet
get
can connect us.
exactly. Yes, this is why
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm an adult, and
Yes.
and even as an adult still struggle and have
Yeah.
been putting some more
Yeah.
limits. I here's my last announcement that I didn't even realize.
Da, 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 da.
I did not take my cell phone up to my room and I
Oh.
went to bed because I had
Wow.
been keeping it in my
Yeah.
room and I was like,
Yeah.
why are you can't
Yeah.
you talk about no devices in the bedroom.
Hmm.
Okay, I left my phone downstairs. And
Right
you know what?
on.
I survived.
Yeah. Good.
I
That's
survived.
awesome.
So I'm going to do it again tonight
Yeah.
and then the next night and then it'll
That's
just become a
awesome.
thing. It'll
That's
just live in
awesome.
the little kitchen cubby thing that I have on the wall.
Mhm. That's fabulous. I have done that sometimes as well. My only thing, and I know there's other solutions for this, and I'm not going to talk through why all of it's just what I use for my alarm in the
I
morning.
know,
And
I know.
because I don't like sleeping with my watch on, I
Emily
could use
Churkin has
that.
brought this up.
I don't
She's
we have a big fancy like lights up with you in the morning, which like I should be using, but I wake up so much
oh,
earlier than Mitch these days. That it's like I don't want
yes.
to wake him up an hour before he needs to get up, all that kind
True.
of
It is. It's
stuff.
tricky
It's tricky. Yeah.
when you
But
should. I
I
mean,
also, but I say all this and like the times when I don't have my phone around me or I turn off the alarm, I still wake up when my alarm because I wake
right.
up at
You're kind
5:05
of just
every
used to
morning,
it.
whether I want to or not. Yeah.
Your
But
internal clock. Yeah.
uh-huh. She's a
Yeah.
ticking. But no, good on you. That's awesome.
I'm gonna
Um,
keep doing it.
can I ask you one more silly question? Or
Absolutely.
or two silly-ish questions, which would be, what was your Woody growing up? Which is, I
Oh,
think,
a baby doll.
was
Um,
okay, a specific
yeah.
one, or who
Yeah.
I should say
I
was
don't rem
your.
I don't remember her name. I carried her with me everywhere. The reason it is one that sticks out to me is because it ended up becoming this kind of funny thing because my sister stepped on its head and so it lost an eyeball.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, so one of the eyeballs popped out. But it was one of those like you put a baby bottle in its mouth and it made the
Hmm.
drinking sound.
Hmm.
It would cry. I could still
Amazing.
hear that sound in my
Hmm.
head. I know exactly what it sounds like.
Yep.
I'm sure it had a very specific name. I don't
Okay.
remember it off the top of my
Okay.
head.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mine is,
that and a little stuffed puppy. So
oh, delightful. Did the little
yeah.
stuffed puppy have a name?
No, I don't think I
Wow.
named.
Oh
I
my
don't really think I
gosh.
named my stuffed animals. If I did,
I
I don't remember it.
I was and am a big namer, although most of Violet's like stuffies currently are just like, I guess, the name of the animal, like where's
Yeah.
Froggy, where's Big Bunny, as we already talked about.
Yeah.
But that's it's cool. I don't know. I never cease to be fascinated by the new things she learns every day. But today we were playing like basically hide and seek with all her animals. Like I'd be like,
Oh.
"Where's Froggy?" And she'd look around the room and she goes, "Hmm." And then she'd find the froggy, and then I'd ask, "Where's Floppity?" And like she knows these guys' names, which is so cool. But
She's
mine was
playing
Beebs.
games.
I know
Oh
I've
yeah,
I've talked
Beebs.
plenty
Yep.
about Beebs. How do you think you would spell Beebs?
Well, I would say Beebs, but I'm gonna guess that you had some kind of a complicated spelling
You
based
know
on the
what?
face that you're making right
It
now.
was, yeah, but I think it was just a wrong
Um,
spelling that I had to like commit to because I made a bracelet for her, and it ended
oh.
up saying Bebse, Bebsa. But to
Okay,
me, that's
okay.
always been Beebs. And when I picture
That's
the word
Beebs.
Beebs, that's Beebs.
That's the
Sometimes
Beebs.
BB was like her cute name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely Beebs. So yeah,
Good
that was if
times.
I were Andy, Beebs
Oh,
would
you'd
be
put
my
Sharpie on the bottom.
uh-huh. No, and I probably shared the story here before too about how at one point Beebs was just getting so like old that she
Yeah,
was like
she'd been
losing her
through some
fluff and
things.
stuff. She'd been through it. And so one year for Christmas, my mom got me for Secret Santa, and we did Secret Santa where like you had to hand make something for someone.
Oh,
And so my
yeah.
mom did a little surgery on, like took Beebs to the hospital, and restuffed her and stitched her back up, and I hated it. I
Oh
refused
no.
it and sent her back to the hospital, and mom
Reverse the surgery,
opened her
reverse.
took the fluff back out so she could perfectly drape over my arm like the little limp noodle she is to this
Oh,
day.
that's hilarious.
So
Yeah.
toys are fun.
Toys are fun. Use toys.
Tablets are
Toys
conflicting
over
and
tablets.
complicated
Toys over
and don't
tablets.
belong in the bedroom, Disney.
Well, no,
They don't.
there's a
Yeah.
takeaway from this.
Yeah.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
saw the movie, if you had any thoughts and you're like, what do I do? Take them out of the bedroom. It's an easy thing to do. I mean, I say that as someone who's not had to take them out of my kid's bedroom. But I have from my book club way back when, a mom that was in my book clubs when we
Mhm.
read Jean Twangy's 10 Rules for Raising Kids in a High-Tech World. One of those rules is get devices out of the bedroom. And she did it for her kids. And it took a few days. I think it
Mhm.
was like over the course of a week, there was kind of a transition. And then everything was so much
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
So
Oh, and
it can be done.
much like my own alarm clock. Well, but this, but that, like, yeah, taking away technology as the convenience versus the friction and all that things. And
protect your sleep.
I know kids who listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or like sleep music, any number of things, who have gone to Bluetooth headphones so they can start it, but then be in their bedroom so they can listen to their comforting thing. They can have, what they want, but they aren't glued to, or they don't have that as an option to actually change it. You pick your one thing, and that's, what you're going to bed with. So there are solutions, even if it's not the most convenient or fluid thing. Right. Like, as I think we say many times, friction is, it's a good thing.
And it can't protect the sleep. Seriously, protect your sleep. Everyone.
I think you're trying to say something, Jordan. Are you ready to get rid of me? So you can go
protect
sleep.
Your sleep. Yeah. I'm not going to go sleep. Not yet. Either. There's too much to be done. But yeah, on that note, yes, I would not say don't. I would not say. Wait, I would not say. I'm getting so tongue twisted. I won't say don't go see the movie. Don't go see. That's what I was trying to get out of my jumbled brain. I will not tell you to not go see the movie. But I will tell you that there are things that they could have done to send better messaging. And now you've heard them. And maybe it sparks a new conversation in your home.
Love sparking conversations.
And you can find all the resources of all the different groups and places you can now join if you want to make changes and connect with other people that are working to make changes too. So
yeah.
On that note, go outside.
Woohoo.
Get fresh air.
Do it.
Put your phone out of your bedroom. There we go. Maybe that's my new piece. Put your phone out of your bedroom. Don't sleep with your phone in your bedroom. Can you do it? Maybe it's for a night. Maybe it's for a week. See what happens. Get a new alarm clock. Go to Target. We already talked about Target.
Ooh.
Get a Target alarm clock. Dear Target,
sponsor
us.
I don't know if I want that sponsorship, though. Talk about follow the money.
We need an alarm clock sponsor.
Yes.
We need a non-controversial alarm clock sponsor.
Yes.
That's not funded by Google or YouTube or Meta or
racism or
any of the things. We just need a safe alarm clock. All right, I'll do my research.
Anyway, touch grass.
Touch grass. Go outside. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the podcast music. Bye, Brian Spickelmeyer. Jordan Spickelmeyer does social media. I'm Helen Plevka-Jones. I go and edit this audio.
Yep.
Bye. No, what do I say?
No,
we'll catch you.
You gotta catch
on the flippity flip.